Welcome back here with Money, Money, Money. And this week we're debating the levy of a lot of charges on transactions that you're conducting, whether it's at your bank branch, at your bank's ATM, another bank's ATM, or maybe when you're swiping that piece of plastic. Let me get Amitabh into the conversation as well. Amitabh, of course, MasterCard is obviously responsible for a huge number of transactions that are happening in this country. I wanted to get your opening thoughts first up. After demonetization, there, of course, was a pickup, but then I also heard from some quarters that there's now been a bit of a plateauing and a bit of a lull in digital payments and digital transactions. How do you read the landscape and your thoughts on some of the comments that Mr. Kumar was making there from a banker's perspective?
Right. So, Surabhi, you're absolutely right. After demonetization, when the money kind of went out of the system and there was no currency available to transact, transactions did see a spurt. They grew, in fact, more than 300% for debit cards. The growth was probably in the 100% range for credit cards as well, and we've seen growth reported by media and other sources for wallets and other payment types as well. As the money circulation came back into the system, customers probably fell back to old habits, and this growth rate has come down. But the good thing, the significant thing, is that it's now stabilizing at a level which is higher than what used to exist pre-demonetization. The important thing to note here also is that...
How much higher? Is there a sense that you have?
Well, we need to still see where it finally finds its level, but 100% would be a good guess.
So 100% increase in digital payments above where we were before the 8th of November.
For debit cards.
For debit cards.
Okay. But then again, there are seasonalities and cyclic trends, etc. So you can't really compare, let's say, an October with a March or an April. So those kind of factors are there. But what I'm trying to say directionally is that there is growth and it's stabilizing at a level higher than where it was pre-demonetization. India took about 2 decades to reach 1.5 million terminals or merchant points, and now it stands at 2.2 million, and all this has been done in the last 5-6 months.
Let me also bring in Mr. Kumar into the conversation. And sir, this is a very simple layman question. The fact that, there are more stringent rules, whether it's with respect to minimum balance or whether it's actual deposits and withdrawals at a bank branch or even ATM usage, is it largely to push people away from cash and incentivize digital, or is it largely a function of the banker's own cost and margins?
It is more driven by our own cost, and if I were to tell you the simple economics, when somebody keeps 1,000 rupees in his savings bank account, in the best case scenario, it earns 40 rupees in a year. As against this, if I allow 5 transactions free, my outgo is 75 rupees plus service tax, right?
So your cost dynamics simply don't allow too many free transactions like we enjoyed in the good old days.
Exactly. And the costs are going up. And the other thing is that savings bank, particularly because this is the product where the maximum discussion is happening, it is a product where bank is paying 4% interest. And on current accounts, we pay 0% interest. On fixed deposits, we pay 7% interest. So what are the product features for a savings bank? That you maintain the liquidity because you have the freedom to withdraw. At the same time, you earn 4%. So it is also a question of product positioning, and apart from that, maintaining superfluous accounts where are no transactions, no balance in the account, it puts huge pressure on the IT infrastructure of the bank.
Sir, but let's focus a bit on your urban and metro customers primarily now. Can we expect any further changes, particularly in things like NEFT, RTGS? As I look at the SBI release, the current, charges, range between 2 rupees to 45 rupees at the higher end. That's for NEFT, RTGS transactions. Are you proposing to bring about any changes, any increase here?
Right. So the charges normally we review once in a year. And unless there is some change in the regulation or there are some other factors where we need to tweak in further. But normally our policy is that we leave them at least for 1 year unchanged. So I don't think that there is any immediate plan to make any further changes. And as far as the card is concerned, yes, again, the cost of issuance of the card is very high, including the charges which we pay for dispatch, and again, the cost of cyber security, data security, compliance, time to time regulatory guidelines. Like all cards now, it has been mandated that they have to be chip and pin. So we have to replace 27 crore cards. So it costs again huge amount of money. So there is nothing free. If I get free and I charge you, then yes, I am to be blamed. But if I'm incurring costs...
Sir, you put up a strong argument. You put up a really strong argument, and I take that. But, you know, we'll get MasterCard to respond to this. When it comes to cost with respect to cards and really who can bear that cost, will there be a point sometime this year when customers will have to start paying up a little more? That's exactly what we'll talk about after this break.